Hi, and welcome to Conversations to Connect. I'm Fenella Hawksley, and on this podcast we will be hosting conversations to share insights, research and knowledge to inspire change and to help people feel more connected. On today's episode, I am joined by Sammy Mckay, professional boxer, boxing coach at Miguels Boxing Gym in Brixton and founder of Champs Within. Sammy started boxing in 2015 as part of the London Fire Brigade Lambeth boxing initiative. Having travelled the world training with champions, Sammy gained a number of title wins and turned pro in 2020. Sammy has trained regularly at Miguels since finding the sport and is now one of the lead trainers at the gym. Set up in 2020, Champs Within uses boxing as a tool to foster positive social interaction in a supportive and controlled environment, empowering one another to achieve goals, reach our full potential and be the best versions of ourselves. Hi, Sammy, and welcome to Conversations to Connect. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I wanted to ask you, when did you first start boxing and why?
When did I first start boxing? Well, that's a kind of I got two answers for that, because when I first got introduced to boxing, I was maybe 14 or 15. It was initially through a youth club. I had like a program, like a 4-week, I think, program. Did it for a bit. I liked it, but when you're that age, you ain't got the drive motivation to keep going, especially you've got other stuff going on. Then I didn't get serious again about boxing until I was 19.
And why at 19?
I think I was going through a lot of things in life at that point, and I just thought, you know what, some of the things are not going the way I want it to go, and I just needed something different. I thought, you know, I always enjoyed boxing, I always liked it, so why not just give it a real go and just see what can happen?
And why did boxing help you get through that?
Boxing really helped me to have a positive outlet, helped me to think more clearly, helped me to calm down, be less erratic, and it's made me think more.
How long have you been boxing at Miguels?
Well, since I was 19, so about almost 10 years now.
This is my boxing gym. I love it.
It's a good gym.
A real community space in London, which is kind of hard to find.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about Miguel's is that when I first came to boxing, everyone's friendly, first of all, and no one really discriminates against you or looks down upon you. No matter what skill level you're at, everyone's always willing to give you advice or help or try push you to get to the next level, no matter what. And you can just go up to anyone and ask them, hey, I don't know how to do this, can you show me this? And someone will always show it to you. So it's a real nice and friendly place. When
did you first set up Champs Within, and how did you come up with the idea of it? And what is it as well for people who don't know?
Okay, Champs Within is I always answer this question 2 ways.
Okay.
I'll give you the first generic answer first.
Okay.
So Champs Within is a boxing organization who uses boxing as a means to create a positive outlet for people that are struggling in their daily life, whether it's young people looking to get through all the emotional traumas they're facing, whether it be school, family, or whatever. It's just giving them an outlet, so somewhere to go and, you know, maybe let some steam off in the bag or have a community, someone they can talk to. And I like to give the second answer. The second answer is it came to me about 4 weeks ago. When I really looked down to the core of it, what is Champs Within? Champs Within is an entity that believes in second chances, okay? Because, not a second chance, but it believes in another chance. Because you might have had a second chance already, so this might be a 10th chance. So we believe in giving another chance and try to pinpoint people in the right direction. Whether that's from young people that's in schools and just, they're not well in schools, the system's failing them, and they've got a lot going on, but they find it hard to talk to the teachers, their friends, because there's a lot of times people, especially when you're young, it's hard to deal with your emotions. You don't really understand how you're feeling, why you're feeling that, how all these things that you experience can impact that. Also, adults as well. Like, there's so many adults that are walking around with so much traumatic experiences. They don't even realize themselves that, okay, because this happened, this is the reason why I behaved like this now. And I believe Terms of Fin just gives you another chance to look at that and try to address that. Or even some of the staff here, like some of the staff might even been down one road in life and they're looking to try something else, try something more positive. And we kind of give them the opportunity to try be a more positive role model.
I love that.
Champs Within is a boxing organisation dedicated to helping people through the disciplines of boxing and the ethics behind it, and using the transferable skills that you can learn from boxing to help them in life.
And I know that you work with non-contact boxing with children. What is the importance of non-contact boxing? And what skills can you learn from it?
So non-contact boxing is really helpful for young people or kids because it teaches them how to be more disciplined, how to have more self-control, and how to respect their teammates or people they work with or the classmates, because you can't physically make contact. So you have to learn how to be more controlled and responsible. Because when they hear boxing, all the kids think that they're going to be hitting each other and they're going to be doing this and that, they're stronger. But when they know it's non-contact and they have to work together to make it an effective workout, then they're more inclined to listen from that.
Boxing's a healthy way to release a lot of emotion and anger and stress. When did Champs Within first get set up?
Actually, officially, it got set up in 2021. Officially, when I came up with the name and stuff. It was in 2020. It was in lockdown. Actually, it was in lockdown. Because how it came about was, previously, I used to do boxing workshops for like some of my friends that are school teachers. They might ask me to come in just teach some kids boxing and that. I just used to do it as a favor. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nothing like serious, or it wasn't like a company or anything. It was just like, oh, can you come in and help teach these kids? And I'm like, yeah, why not? I did that a few times. Actually, it's probably about 10 times. Then in lockdown, everyone's favorite time, lockdown happened. And then in lockdown, I was like, oh, why don't I try to make this into something? Then I remember just sitting there trying to think of a name for weeks and weeks. I couldn't think of a name. I went through some silly names when you think about it. Then me and some of my friends, we used to train in my cousin's garden. He had like a big garden. Had like, to put some boxing bags up. We had some equipment. So we used to do boxing training, and it was like a group of us. So it's like a little positive outlet we had during lockdown, just to keep us fit, keep our mind busy. And then, one day I was sitting at my desk or my table. I was like, what name? And I thought, Champs Within. I thought to myself, this is such an obvious name, it must be taken. So they created a company search, and lo and behold, no one took it. I was like, wow, look at that.
I like it because it says what it does.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring. Within you, there is
exactly
a power that maybe you haven't yet tapped into.
Exactly, because the fact is, everyone has got like untapped potential within them, but some of the time it just takes the right person, the right situation to bring it out.
So for children, it's free boxing coaching.
Yeah, we do like a free boxing program on Mondays and Wednesdays, which is 4:30 to 5:30. So basically free from the ages of 10 to 18. So we want to aim for secondary school kids. Yeah, so we want to aim for secondary school kids because we believe that secondary school kids are going through the most emotional turmoil and emotional change. So we do a free class, Mondays and Wednesdays, mixed boys and girls. We provide them for water and a snack.
At Miguels?
At Miguels, yeah, Miguels Boxing Gym. You want to give it like a big meal because we finish at 5:30 and they're going to go home. We might be going to eat. So we don't want to ruin their meal, but we do give them a little something small to eat, like a protein bar. Because some people not everyone not everyone's getting food at home, so maybe just a little something. And some people we partnered with, like we get funded by certain companies. We've been funded by a few companies before. Durkan, who's a construction company, Higgs and Yard, and they allow us to go into schools and teach the kids that are what they call at risk of getting excluded or at risk of whatever. And which just gives us the opportunity to try change their life and create a more positive outlet for them.
And what impact have you seen this program have?
It's funny. I always find it funny, because whenever we teach the kids, I don't know, maybe because we're not like teaching staff or we're not like the usual faces they see in school, so we kind of have a different relationship with the young people. I always tell them that as well. Whenever I go to meet a new group, I always tell them, look, guys, I have a few rules. Okay. First thing, you always follow the instructions, no swearing, no contact. You can't hit any kids because Champs Within is all about teaching non-contact boxing when we go within the schools. So I said, always say, no contact, you can't hit any of the kids, even playing around. And I always say, another rule is, don't call me sir. I said, never call me sir. If you want to call me anything, call me Coach Sammy, that's it. Not sir, okay? Because I wanted to separate myself from being a teacher, and by separating them, you got like a different relationship. They're more open to talk to you and look at you differently. So whenever we do the classes, teachers always tell us how, some of the kids, they don't really do any other extracurricular activity. This is the first one they do. They're normally quite disruptive, they misbehave and whatnot. But then I look at them and think, who, him? I was like, are you sure? They're like, yeah. I'm like, no, come on. These guys don't even look like they even misbehave. So it's always weird.
It's funny, isn't it? I feel like the kids that misbehave the most at school need the most support, and it's the opposite usually in our society. We punish them because they're going through a difficult time, and so we make it worse.
Yeah.
Whereas giving them a space where they can learn something new. I know you said that non-contact boxing teaches discipline.
Yeah. So non-contact boxing. So what we do is, because it's non-contact boxing, everyone thinks, oh, what's non-contact boxing? Is boxing meant to be contact? That's the thing, Boxing always has like a stigma behind it. Everyone always thinks, oh, boxing, you're going to be like brutal, you're going to get in the ring, you're going to fight straight away. And it's so far from the reality. First of all, no one gets in the ring on the first day, because you will not even be allowed to go in the ring until you can at least throw a decent punch, which is.
I've been boxing for over a year and I still hit a bag. I'm not ready.
Exactly. So no one really gets to the ring straight away. So we always try to let everyone know it's non-contact and there's always rules to it. So we teach kids the discipline boxing has, like the work ethic, teamwork, because a lot of people don't realize boxing is a lot of teamwork, working together, trying to perfect your technique and understand the art of boxing, and the dedication, determination, all the ethics behind it. And we try to use transferable skills that boxing teaches you as well to help you through life. Also, we got our own booklet as well, so we try to teach nutritional information, how to read the food label. A lot of young people don't know how to read a food label. They don't know what the traffic light system is on the food on a label. So if I say, oh, what does the amber mean on the packet of a food? Some of them don't know. Some of them do know, but most of them don't know. And you think it would be like general knowledge to know green is good, amber's okay, red is bad, but not everyone knows that.
That's cool. So it's not just teaching them boxing, it's also teaching them life skills.
Yeah.
And also what I've learned from boxing was that it teaches you that if you put time in, you can get better at something.
Yeah, of course. Boxing is one of the things. It's all about the time and effort you put in. It's like a relationship, if I can say that.
Okay.
So those people in a relationship, you'll know what I mean. There's time you put in a workout. So for example, you go to the gym and you just do a workout. Okay, it's just like if you have a partner, you hang off your partner. But then there's quality time.
Okay.
Like, you see, all females out there, or anyone that's in a partner, they know the difference between quality time and just hanging out. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants quality time. So just like training, if you have quality time, you got to go there. You got to make sure you're working on something, you're studying, and you're not just going there just for the sake of going to get a sweat on. You're actually trying to get better at something and invest time and effort into it. And eventually you'll improve.
So do you see that with the kids that you work with?
Yeah, because, as I said, so the Monday and Wednesday class is pretty new. It's about 2-3 months now, and we do this at Miguels Boxing Gym. Miguels gives us the space, which we're always thankful for Miguels. But we started that because when we used to teach the kids in the schools, we didn't want to just, once the program ends, because it's a 12-week program, just to leave them. 'Cause that's the thing with most of these courses and stuff. Once it finishes, there's nothing after the kids. There's more about the follow-up. Because with young people, or people in general, not young people, it's like, everything is going okay when you got like a routine. You know you got to do this every week for like 10 weeks. Then you're kind of okay, yeah. Once the 10-week finishes, then you're like, okay, it's done now. There's no structure. I'm more likely to get distracted. I'm more likely to be led astray. I'm more likely to get in trouble or whatnot. So that's why we started Mondays and Wednesdays. So once it finishes, or if they're doing it alongside of it, they can come to the gym on a Monday or Wednesday, do some training. So that way they get the added benefit and the bonus.
Definitely. On this podcast, we talk a lot about loneliness and disconnection. And one of the ways to help that is having a regular place where you can go and you see the same people and you also build a skill. So if you're giving people this support for 12 weeks and then they're left on their own again, that could be quite isolating.
Yeah, exactly. We got a lot of young people who now attend the Mondays and Wednesday class that used to be part of the courses, and now, because they're all different schools and stuff, they're mixing. Some of them are really getting on now, and they got a little bond with each other. Aww. And they kind of banter with each other. So it's good to see that, and you see them improving each time, and how they become more dedicated, more determined. And there's some of them that even want to compete in a boxing match and fight. So we kind of always try to teach them towards that and help them the best way we can.
I know you mentioned before that you see a community building amongst the different kids from different schools who do the boxing program.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you come to the sessions, especially the older kids, so the secondary school kids, you see that they all get on and they're kind of helping each other out, because many of them are from different schools, but they know that they're all part of the same team, so they could be coaching each other. Even though they're quite competitive, as young people are, they still try to work in a team, and even at the end of the session, they go downstairs, they do a bit of exercise together, they might try to do a bit of cardio. Some of them like to do weights. It's really good to see how they're bonding together and forming some friendships.
Do you feel like community is a big part of that?
I think, yeah, community is definitely a big part of that. I feel like in the society we live in, it's a funny society, because everyone kind of like talks about mental health, this, mental health, that. But when you go down to the thick of it, like, no one really truly understands the impact of trauma on people. Like, if you think about it realistically, okay, if something happens to a person, they say a trauma, experiencing a trauma, for the first, I think, 6 months, your body kind of changes, so you're no longer the person who you was. So when someone says, I can't believe the person did this, that's not like them, it's actually true. It's not them. It's their body changes, going through changes. So it's physically and scientifically, it's not them. It's someone totally different. And depending on who you are, like, people don't really like take the time to be considerate and understand that. Well, you can't really blame people, because you got to think about, a lot of people are going through their own sort of stuff. They got their family, life, work, all sorts of stuff going on. So sometimes they ain't got the time to say, look, okay, you're doing this, but I can see this is just a cover up for what you really doing, what's really happening behind. But that's obviously people it takes too much time and effort. So yeah, I think like mental health is like, it's just widespread, but the understanding of it is still surface level.
True, and that's what I think, like in schools. I read this report and it was saying that schools were setting up inclusion units for kids who were going to be excluded. Whereas usually, if a kid is badly behaved, they get in trouble, that could lead to being expelled and they get thrown out. Whereas people are slowly realising, but not quick enough, that actually the kids that are maybe causing the most trouble, they're the ones that need maybe more attention, one-to-one counselling, talking.
Yeah, I mean, like, inclusive units are quite, I don't know if it's becoming widespread now, but we used to have that in our school.
Really?
Yeah, we used to have that.
Was it good?
Inclusive unit? No. I mean, like, it was okay, because it gives you opportunity to still do your schoolwork. Mm-hmm. And it always depends on who you are as a person.
Were you in it, Sammy?
I've been to inclusive, yeah. Yeah, I've been to it a few times. I'm not going to lie to you. But the thing about me is I always enjoy schoolwork and learning. So when I got in inclusive unit, I used to always try to do my work and catch up and stuff. I always wanted to be clever. So I've been inclusive a few times. But then again, when your friends come in there, then you're just going to do more nonsense, which is annoying.
What do you think one of the greatest life lessons boxing can teach you is?
Oh, well, gosh, so many. There's so many, because I love quotes. I love a quote.
Me too.
So I'm going to probably say a quote. Which quote should I say? Should I say my favourite quote?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know what it is?
So?
Okay, my favourite quote is, comparison is the thief of joy.
Oh, I was thinking that today.
Theodore Roosevelt, famous president. I feel like a lot of people don't really embody this quote enough, especially in this society. It's so difficult not to compare. We've got social media. You open your phone, you see the best bits. You basically see it in the highlight reel of everyone's life. Like, so you're thinking, oh, look at this person, they're doing this, they're doing that, oh, they're here in life. We start at the same time, but they're doing this. It's so difficult not to compare, and the impact that has on your mental health is very dire, because everyone is like thinking they need to be at a certain point by a certain goal. Like you might think, okay, by age 25 I need to do this, by 30 I need to do this, by 40 I need to do this. And because you're setting yourself up with all these goals and comparing to other people, when you don't do that, then you kind of like think, oh, you're a failure. And you know, everyone's their hardest critic. So comparing yourself, as I said, is the thief of joy. So I feel like boxing teaches you to just focus on yourself and do the best you can, and you will get there. Because when you're comparing yourself to other people training, you don't know all the different variables that's going on with them. You don't know what they're doing outside or inside, the extra times. You only see them when you see them. So I feel like everyone needs to think about and try to understand that more. That comparing yourself to other people is only going to leave you unhappy.
True. And if you focus on your own training, then you will get better over time. Whereas if you just look at everyone else, and it's hard though.
It's hard. As I said to you, it's so difficult. Like, it takes time. Whenever what I used to say to people is, people think that being motivated is permanent, but motivation is not permanent. Motivation is a temporary feeling, just like anything. So I always say to people, okay, if you eat on Monday, are you gonna be full for the rest of the week? No, you're not. If you shower on Monday, are you gonna be clean for the rest of the week? No, you're not. So it's just like that. You gotta consistently, daily, remind yourself that you're on the right path. You know, you gotta be kind to yourself, be positive to yourself, and it has to be like a daily ritual. Because negativity is all around us. You don't need to look far to find negative, and you're gonna be negative towards yourself regardless. So you always remember to try to be more positive to yourself and try to be more encouraging, just like how you do to one of your best friends. You'd always try to encourage your best friend and be nice to them and try to help them see the positive side of life.
True. It's easier to be nice to other people than it is to be to yourself. So you recently got nominated for a community award in Herne Hill for your contribution to the local community. And part of the objectives within Champs Within is to empower the local community. Miguels in itself is a community space. Being part of Miguels, you feel like you are part of a community. Why is community important to you? And what do you think community is?
Community is your environment and your surroundings, first of all. Okay, and community is the people who you see on a regular basis, who you then start a friendship and then you form stronger bonds with. Community means to me coming together despite our differences and finding our similarity, whether it be through training, sweat, hardship. Just like boxing, for example. When you're training alongside people for a certain amount of times, you naturally kind of build a kinship with them, because it's like through hard work and sweat ethic, you now create a bond with that person, and next time you see them, it's almost like seeing a long lost relative. That, oh, how's it going? Are you doing it today? When you don't see them, it's like you're shocked. You're like, wow, why didn't you come training and whatnot? So community, as I said, is about building the kinship and bond with people through different variables.
Is your community South London?
No, actually.
No? What?
No.
Where are you from?
I mean, yes. So I said no because it expands more than that.
Okay.
So I say it's not South London because I try to be bigger than that. So, because recently, in January, I went Tanzania, which is East Africa. I did some boxing workshops with some schools, so I was going around teaching kids in schools boxing, non-contact boxing, and teaching some of the teachers there as well how to teach non-contact boxing. And in my time there, I met a couple of people that I really bonded with. One guy particularly, a bit younger than me, like a little brother. So he's still messaging me now and asking me for help on certain things. And so when you said my community is South London, I say no because my community is national, it's worldwide.
I also agree with what you said about sweat bonds people. I feel like Miguel's, something I love about it is you've got so many different types of people in a class. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But by the end of an hour, everyone feels so close. And you're right, then when you come back, you say hi to the same people, it feels like My granddad says that everybody in life just wants a place where they feel like they belong, and if they aren't there, they'll be missed. And that's what Miguel's feels like. Yeah, definitely. As I said, Miguel's is one of them places, but when I first started, as I said,
there were people like, so the thing about Miguel's is there are so many different people here that are from different walks of life, and you don't know what walks of life, but everyone treats each other with respect and care. And then when you find out what they might be doing, you're like, oh my God, you're this, you're that, and it's like, wow, yeah. And then, you know, that's just what I like about. No one looks down on no one, no matter where they are in life or what they're going through. Everyone kind of respects and tries to help and lift the other person up.
How do you think that was created? I've been to a lot of gyms, and some of them, there's more of a competitive feel, or there's not as friendly an environment, and it doesn't feel the same. So how do you think that environment was
I think
created?
it all boils down to Miguel and Miguel's his core values and core beliefs and the way their staff is. Because everyone is almost like family in Miguel's, and within all families you got different characters and different people, you know. So because all the staff are so to get on so well, and then it kind of spreads out into the gym, so everyone kind of like treats each other with respect, and everyone's really like understanding. I always say if people can ask for 2 qualities in life, like for example, let me ask you, if you could choose the 2 qualities you'd want someone to have for you, what would it be?
See, now I know the answer because you said understanding, but I don't know. Kindness.
Okay.
Kindness. Ooh, and maybe, I don't know, acceptance?
Okay.
What would you
I say patience
Okay.
and understanding. Because the reason why I say understanding is because if you're able to understand what a person is going through, you can emphasize more and maybe sympathize and try to be more caring towards them. And I say patience because sometimes you ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna give it to you straight away. Sometimes that person's gonna be so mean to you in the beginning, and then all of a sudden they're so nice to you. Like there's some times where I just think, oh, this person is so annoying, you know. Then after a while I started talking to them. I was like, why do you put on this annoying little acts? You don't even like yourself in real life. That's what I said. It's all about patience, understanding, because everyone's going through their own little battles, so they have to put on this kind of front and whatnot. So when you have the patience enough to sit down and talk to them, then you see past that, then they kind of show you who they really are.
True. I read this thing that was like, you can't hate and understand at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you know someone better, or if you understand what someone's going through, then you're not gonna be annoyed with them or angry.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of my annoying qualities.
What?
Like, I'm too understanding. I hate it. Sometimes I'm so understanding. I get where you're coming from. Like, I understand how you're feeling, and I can relate, and I can put myself in your shoes.
Why is that annoying?
Because I'm too understanding. Sometimes I need to be like, nope, this is life.
Yeah, but that's what makes you a good coach.
Yeah, I guess so.
So apart from the boxing classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, and there's a free summer school, right, for kids?
Yeah, we did that in the summer program. So we try to do an all year round thing.
Okay.
So now summer school is continuous. Now it's Mondays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
So now Mondays and Wednesdays all year round, and we give the kids awards every 6 weeks. So we got bronze, silver, gold, platinum. I think those are just like good morale boosts for them to know that they have achieved something, and it's nice they can show their parents that, look, I've been doing this and this, and I got this. So it's good for the parents to see that their kids are just working hard as well, and not just going boxing and, I don't know, doing nonsense.
You also collaborate with Brixton Soup Kitchen and offer food drives for the local community. And I read that you do legal training to deliver talks to people about their rights and knowledge of the law. So
Yeah.
why is this important to you, and when did that start?
It sounds like we do a lot, but I don't feel like we do that much. So the Soup Kitchen, so Solomon is a friend of mine. I've known him for quite some time now.
Is he the founder of
Yeah,
Brixton
he's the
Soup
founder
Kitchen?
of Brixton Soup Kitchen. But we all grew up in Brixton. So what we do, we try to do at least once or twice a year. We do like a big kind of drive where mainly Christmas times, we try to either raise money or do a food drive, and we try to get as many items for them as possible, and we partner with them, and we go around Christmas handing it out to families that are in need.
Why is that important to you?
I think that's important because, as I said, it's all about community, it's all about giving back, because a lot of people are going through their own challenges in life, and sometimes they just need like an extra hand. And sometimes it's hard for someone to ask for help, or pride is such a thing. Pride is a fool of everyone. I mean, I'm quite proud of myself, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. The thing about this society, that's what I'm saying, trauma is a real thing. because everyone's been through some sort of traumatic experience in their life, so that kind of helped develop and form the character they are. So a lot of people nowadays, because they've been let down and stuff, they don't like asking for help in case they get let down again. So us doing the food drive takes away the asking, so they don't feel like they're going to get a no. So it's more like, hey, we're doing this. You don't have to ask, but we're going to do this out of our own free will, and we hope that you accept this. So, yeah, and with the legal stuff, again, we partner with Tucker's Solicitors and a friend of mine. So when we do the workshops in schools, we also try to educate some of the kids about their rights. Some parts of laws they may not know, especially like stop and search and stuff. A lot of these kids are getting stop and search and they don't know what their actual rights are, or what they can get in trouble for, what they can't get in trouble for, because the law's always changing and stuff. So it's always good for them to have a little bit of knowledge about the law. The more you know is the more you know, really. It's a lie. So
Knowledge is power.
yeah, I always feel like knowledge is power, and even me myself sometimes I think, I always think I don't really know enough. And in life, you got to be humble. You got to learn to say, you know what, I don't know this. Can you teach me this, and can you show me how to do this? But I feel like, again, people don't want to be seen less than someone else by asking for help or trying to get advice. That's the aim of Champs and Miguels. We always wanted to create a community for young people, especially what's going on with young people nowadays. It's easy for them to get involved in like gang violence, all other sort of stuff. So if we can create like a community hub where they can come, even for like an hour and a half, and just train and just feel togetherness, then that's a job well done. Even if we just like reach, because again, we're not going to reach everyone. If we reach 10 people, that's 100%.
And you're showing them that there's another...
Yeah, you can show them another life.
Yeah.
So another project we're doing along the lines of what we were talking about is, so I had this idea of creating a photography exhibition. Okay, so it's the same idea, but it's about community. Okay, so same thing we was talking about, how in Miguel's, how it's such a community feeling, and how everyone's so friendly and treats you well with respect and kindness, and you just don't know who is in the gym and whatnot. But when you think about it, all the different people, everyone comes to the gym for different reasons. No two people are going to come to the gym for the same reason. And no two people are going to have the exact same history or same background. I had this idea about creating a photography exhibition where we focus on that, the community and the different people that come to the gym, by one, taking pictures of them in their boxing clothes or training gear, and taking a picture of them in like their work clothes or just like everyday normal clothes. And then we would want to interview them. We're going to choose 20 main subjects to interview and try to make it diverse as possible. It's going to be in Brixton Library, and it's going to be for 1 month. So the whole idea and premises behind it, and similar to what you're doing here on the podcast, the connections. I had an idea about, Miguel's is a community place, and there's a lot of, as I said, community feel behind it, and there's so many different people that attend, and everyone get on, no matter what kind of background you come from. And if you speak to some of the people, you won't believe what they do in their day-to-day life, which I always find interesting. So I want to create an art project, which is portraits. We're going to have to take some portraits of people, and we're going to interview them and hear their story and why they decided to do boxing. I mean, everyone have different reasons for boxing, why they continue to do it after, or some people have been doing it for years, and it's like, you might think you might stop or change, but you continue to do it. So is it because of the community feeling? Is it the way it makes you feel? Is it for like your mental health? Is it therapy? I mean, like, there's many other many reasons you can choose from. And I just wanted to get an insight into that and share how community feel for it, because within Brixton, where Miguel's is located, there's a lot of negativity that goes on sometimes, and it's just good to have a positivity every now and then to remind people that, even though there is negative things happening in this world, there's still people out there that's trying to bring positivity to it.
And I think there's so many different reasons why people would box, like you said. The way that it can add to people's life or re-empower them after difficult situations. Like you said before, even giving discipline and feeling strong again. Whether or not you actually fight against someone else in the ring, you feel strong when you're just punching a bag, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time, it's more about how it makes you feel than what the end goal is. Because some of the times, people think that whenever you hear boxing, you think, oh, I'm going to get in the ring and fight. which no one ever gets in the ring the first day. I mean, like, not unless you're a trained professional, but no one really gets in the ring. It's more of a fitness feel. It's about challenging yourself to be the better version of yourself.
Do you think that for people who don't know that much about boxing, there's sometimes negative stereotypes around it?
Yeah, of course. Everyone just looks at the main boxers, which is the commercial boxers on TV, and think that, oh yeah, it's a brutal sport. You're trying to hurt the other person, but that's like the competitive aspects of it. If you're looking at the fitness side of it, you see that boxing is a very much community-based sport where it's not just you, it's a whole lot of people behind you trying to help you become the best version of yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And every day trying to be a better version of yourself.
Yeah, that's what it's about. I mean, if you look around the world, negativity is everywhere. You don't have to look far to find negative or self-doubt or anything. It's always more difficult to find positivity and encouragement, and just remembering that, you know, you're the only you out there, and you survive 100% of your bad days, and you can continue to survive.
Do you know what's interesting is that for people who maybe didn't know that much about boxing, they might think that boxing is fighting or trying to compete and beat someone else, whereas actually the energy that is created at Miguel's is about, like you said, everyone trying to big each other up to be the best version of themselves and empower and motivate.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know about boxing, you just only think about it commercially. I mean, you will never truly understand community feel it behind him. I mean, I don't know what it's like in other gyms, but I know here in Miguel's, it's very much a community feeling. I always recommend everyone to come at least try it out, and you know, you never know, you can fall in love with it.
I think it also teaches you a lot of important life lessons.
Yeah, of course, loads of life lessons. I mean, like, you could name any.
You always have a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah, literally, that's self-explanatory. I like that one, because you know, sometimes you're going through life, you think, okay, this and that, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do this, then when I get home, then next thing you know, you wake up in the morning, train's cancelled. That's it. You're thinking, what? That messed up your whole schedule. Now you're gonna be an hour late for work, and just like, it's about trying to rebalance yourself after that happens, you know, because once something negative happens, that's like, it kind of throws you off, and it's hard to get back to the positive thinking.
I think that other really important lesson that the boxing teaches you is to like stay in your lane. The only thing you can control is how you train and how hard you're working. You say if you even get to the level where you're going to fight someone in the ring, right? All you can control is how hard you're working.
Yeah, absolutely. Saying you can't control whatever happens. Only thing you can control is how you feel about it. And that's the main thing, you know. I mean, when it comes to training and boxing, all you can control is what you do. You can't control anything else apart from that. You can't control, for example, your opponent, or you can't control anyone, the weather, or not. All you control is, I'm going to attend training today. I'm going to give my maximum effort. And that's it.
How has boxing changed your life?
Boxing changed my life, has made me more, I would say, opened a lot of doors for me. Boxing is a door opener.
Why do you think boxing is different to other sports?
Boxing is different because, how can I say this? There's beauty in the savagery.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you think boxing is such a savage sport in retrospect, but there's beauty in it.
We usually end this podcast on 2 questions. The final 2 questions are, when did you last feel lonely? And what advice would you give to someone to help them feel more connected?
God, when did I last feel lonely? It depends what you mean, lonely. Because if you talk about lonely in the sense of like mentally, or lonely in the sense of like physically, then I mean, I can feel lonely quite often, believe it or not. Even though I'm surrounded by a lot of people, you know, especially when I'm doing different works and stuff, you always feel alone because you're kind of putting all this effort and you're trying to strive to make yourself better, and it kind of be a lonely road. Naturally, in life, I think there's always some point you feel lonely, even on a day-to-day basis. It could be because you're working, or you're trying to build for the future, so you got to push harder than everyone else, or you got to push. So, but people may not understand that, and because people don't understand, you may feel like in that way you feel alone. So I feel like it's natural to feel lonely on a weekly basis, to be honest. But as with most things, a feeling is not constant. A feeling is momentarily. So as long as you don't stay within that feeling and don't think you are alone, then I think it's beneficial to sometimes feel lonely. Just as long as you don't think that you are alone.
And what advice would you give to someone to help them feel more connected?
The advice I would give to someone to feel more connected, it would just try to be more understanding. I feel like in this society we live in, a lot of people like to follow the bandwagon, in the sense of like, especially when it comes down to like mental health, and people don't really understand mental health and people's emotions, because everyone is like an advocate for positive thinking, caring about the human being. But to care about someone, you have to have the understanding to know how or what the person is feeling or why they could be feeling this way. You know, so what we need is a bit more understanding, a bit more patience with people, because we're too in a hurry and too much in a haste to get where we want to be. So we don't have the patience to understand another person. Because if you understand a person, you may know, okay, look, this person is acting this way because of this will happen to them, and they don't really know that this is affecting them. And I can see that, and what is the best way for me to explain to them that it's not their fault they're this way, is because of what's happened to them. But what's happened to them doesn't make them who they are. So it's about having understanding and having patience and just being open, open to learning new things about different people.
I like that. Thank you. And finally, your favourite inspirational quote to end on.
Inspirational? I've got so many. Okay, I'll hit you with this one. No amount of regret can change the past. No amount of anxiety can change the future. That's self-explanatory.
That's like the Kung Fu Panda quote. No, yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why we call it the present.
Yeah. Yeah, I think more people need to embody that. It's hard though.
Okay, thank you so much, Sammy. This has been great.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this podcast.